Good morning, everybody. We're back. Finally. Oh man, what a rubbish couple of weeks. But we're back. That's the main thing. So, welcome back to the channel. So today we are back in our 737. I feel like with all what's been going on with the Airbus A320 from Phoenix, we've been doing a little bit of that. We've been doing a bit of A300. We've even been flying a Chinook. I figured it was about time we got back in the 737. And we're taking a flight from Gatwick over to Munich. Now, I've kind of chosen this for a good reason. It's because I'm very conscious that so far in my VATSIMing endeavours, really what I've been doing is going from an airport that's reasonably big, such as Gatwick that I know, to quite a simple airport. Because, therefore, when I land, there's no stress. I can just pull off the runway and take a very kind of obvious route to the gate. Take Bristol, for example. Think about maybe Ibiza, for example. Very simple airports, one runway, off you get, taxi to the gate. I kind of feel like after my incident at Dublin, I'm a little bit maybe once bitten twice shy. So I'm kind of forcing myself to fly to a bigger airport so that when we land we've got some work to do, and hopefully it'll go okay, and hopefully then that kind of gives us the confidence to go a little bit further, because I don't know, just when I go to plan a flight, there's a little part of me that's like, oh no, don't go there, that looks too big and busy, and I kind of wimp out. So that's kind of the idea behind today's flight. So when we get to Munich, tower's on at the moment, or at least it was when I checked a few moments ago. Hopefully it will still be on when we get there. We might even get some ground, who knows. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we can get a good result in. I feel like I need to, while we've been doing a lot of flying on VATSIM, and we have been doing a lot of flying on VATSIM, I feel like I've been cherry picking easier airports and easier routes. So this is intentionally one that it's not necessarily hard, but we're going to a bigger airport, lots of taxiways. When we get there, there's going to be a more complex ground instruction to get us to our gate. So that's kind of the idea. And then hopefully that'll pave the way for us to be able to go to basically wherever we want. So that's the idea. Let's hop into the cockpit. We'll get things fired up and see what's what. All right. Lovely job. Who have we got in chat? Hey David, how you doing? We got Thomas. Oh, 707, you're loaded in. Gate 21, Eurowings. Very nice. Ben, Pixel. Lexi says all my friends are in school, and then there's me who watches an Air-Not live stream. There you go. That's the way to do it. That's the way. So all I've done so far is I've got the battery on, and I've got an external power connected to the plane. Just realising that I haven't actually switched on my camera. So yoke cam might be a problem. Lovely. There we go. Yeah, so all we've done the battery switch up here, and I've connected a ground power unit and click this switch here. Jolly good. Man, it feels like the first day back at school. I haven't flown in ages. That's okay. So, first things first. Let's go into our EFB. Let's pull in the flight data. So, there we go. Call sign today. X-ray November Oscar 258. But we're going to introduce ourselves as Air-Not 258, and hopefully the controllers will read the notes, because I've kind of put that is my call sign in there. Company route Gatwick to Munich with an alternate of Frankfurt. That's all looking good. What's the weather looking like? So out of Gatwick, 080 and 3 knots. And what about arrival? Okay, a little bit more, but nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. That's okay. We're doing all right. Jolly good. Okay, let's get our emergency lights on. And we'll get the APU ready to start. Let's get our navs aligned. Good. So there's no ATIS, is there, this morning? So I'm presuming... Is it runway 08 we're going to be using? 08 right? Curious to see what SimBrief has planned for me. Yeah, 08 right, that makes sense. Alright, I need to get my pen and paper ready. You know we're VATSIMing when the pen and paper comes out. And our SID... We just import it here into our charts. Import from SimBrief. There we go. Yeah, 08 right. Odvik to Zulu departure. Then into Munich. Allegedly runway 08 left. Transitioning at Rokill. And the Rokill 1 Alpha arrival. As for the approach, yeah, let's do an ILS. Transition off of Mike. What's the alternative? Yeah, that'll do. Let's take that. Okay. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, if there's no ATC on, I might, if we're doing okay by roadkill, rather than go all the way out to Mike and then all the way back, I might take us direct to maybe Delta 128 Lima, or maybe Delta 136 Sierra. Depends. There could be ATC on by the time we get there. That's always possible. Yeah, it seems like an odd thing to do to go all the way out here. I need to come back. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But presuming that we come in on 08 left, what is our groundwork going to look like? Because that is kind of the point. I imagine it's going to be Alpha 10 or Alpha 12 that we jump off at. It's going to be Mike or November. Presumably November 4, November 3 if we're going to Terminal 2. I don't know where they'll send us, actually. Could be Terminal 2, could be Terminal 1. My local knowledge at Munich is not strong, so could go either way. So we've got November 1, Whiskey 1. So we've got blue, orange and yellow. So I guess, will they give you the colour? Wow. Okay. Yeah, like I said, this could be interesting, couldn't it? There we go. Morning, Simon. Nice to see you, mate. Right, let's make sure we've got enough fuel on board. Because, of course, it loads you with, by default, 11,334. And we only need 7,115. Jolly good. Payload. Passengers on board today 127, so if we leave 12 in first class, that leaves 115 in the cheap seats. We've got 2880 in terms of cargo, so we'll split the difference. Half in the front, half in the back. Let's look at our zero fuel weight, 56.1. SimBrief estimates 56.089. Close enough. That's pretty good. I'll take that. Good. Record 08 left transition instead of the star. So you're saying basically at roadkill just come straight down and join the ILS, is that what you're saying? Anand? Well, that would make sense. I mean, that is an awful lot of wriggling around to do for no real reason, isn't it? Okay, 370 is our cruise, allegedly. Let's get some stuff fired up here. God, I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I haven't done this in so long. Okay, let's do yaw dampeners. Window heat. Hydraulics. It's true what they say, if you don't use it, you lose it. Okay, so the APU is on, that's good. Let's get fuel pumps. Happy days. We'll stay on ground power for now. Let's tune Unicorn 122.8. Still nothing on VATSIM yet in terms of ATC, so it probably will be Unicom for now. It's not too busy at Gatwick. I don't know, having said that. If I pop out a window and show you. There we go. So this is map.vatsim.net. There we go. I haven't actually connected myself yet. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Eurowings 27 Golf. That'll be 707 over there. Ready to join us. I should hopefully appear up here in a moment. There is a bit of a lag, isn't there, on this, so you can never be 100% sure. Alright, let's do a little bit of work down here. So go menu, FMC. Let's go to pos init. So we need to get our IRS position in there, so we'll go to the next page, take one of these GPS coordinates, click it, into the scratch pad it goes, previous page. There we go, now the plane's happy, it knows where it is. So to the route page, company route, EGKK, EDDM. There we go. Activate, execute. Perf init request. Give that a second to load in. Go, give us just a mo to align the camera. magic. There we go. Okay. Let's get rid of that for now. Perfect uplink is ready. Load that in. Execute. Transition is not 18,000, is it? Transition is... They don't use stars in Munich, as you're only authorised up to the clearance limit, which is roadkill. From there, you use the runway transition, which they use. Fair enough. So when you say the runway transition, is that literally just kind of drawing a straight line down and then joining the ILS? Speaking of, let's check out the charts on the way out. Okay, transition altitude 6,000. Yeah, we got a 6,000 hard limit, haven't we? All the way out. 250, 6,000. That's fine. Let's put 6,000 up there. Alright, 08 right. It's dry. Takeoff flaps. You'll find the chart for it. Nice one, and we'll have a look once we're up in the air. Alright, so flaps 5. Temperature 42 degrees for an auto takeoff. Or an auto thrust takeoff, I should say. Flaps 5. $137, $138, $134. Trim of 4.80. What are we at? Let's get that down to as near to 5 as we can get it. That looks pretty good. Probably do a radio check actually, just to make sure that, because it is awful quiet at the moment. Yeah, not 258, Gatwick traffic, radio check. Yeah, that's good. It is working. We'll do V2 plus 15 in the speeds up here. So what's that going to be? 159. Runway heading 077, which it already is, that's good. And we'll put 6,000 in the window, 'cause that's our hard limit as we fly out. Okay, that's good. Cruise it once is at 390. Change that. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. Let's take a look at those charts then while we wait for things to finish up here. So we're doing 08 left, aren't we? So this is via mic. Okay. Possible wake turbulence. There's Roku. Clearance limit. Refer to chart 102D. Where are they? 102D. So is this what it is here? So from Roku, go along, out here, and along. Okay. Okay, let's do our legs. Here we go. Right, Gatwick. 08 right, and we're doing the Oddvic to Zulu. Execute, back to the index, into Munich. ILS 08 left. We're going to use the Roadkill. That one. So what about transitioning? So what do I choose here then? This is the question, isn't it? Because we've got a load of options here. What have we got? DM 420, 450. Okay, not too many. Rock 08. Let's go 420 for now. We can always change it. Let's run through the route. Okay, here's our 08 right. Then we head on out. Got to be above 2,000, above 3,000, all with a limit of 250. Then we head on out to Oddvic. And we keep on going. Let's zoom out a little bit. Top of descent. That's fine. Okay, so it's been a bit weird, isn't it? Yeah. Let's. What's Rock 08? What's that all about? That's more like it. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Okay, so we've got Roku. Delete mic. Yeah. That's more like it. So, Roku. Then DM412. That's better. That's what I wanted. So, step through this. Serum Barum. Roku. DM412, 427, 420. Then you can vector ourselves to Maggot. Then in on 08 left. That'll do. That's fine for now. FMC should be 08 left, no start, only the Roku 08 left transition. Alright, let's see what that does then. 08 left. Like that, you mean? Still wants us to go via mic, doesn't it? What's that going to do for us then? Who knows? We'll figure it out in the air. We need to get going, really. So why don't they use stars? That's a bit confusing, isn't it? No, let's get the APU fired up. Well, the APU is fired up. Let's take power from it. Now, what am I forgetting? Oh, we've got ground online. Happy days. 121805. Let's do that. That's good. That's a bit of luck. How long have they been on? 17 minutes. Yikes.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you? I'm doing
What have we got on at Munich?
good.
Absolutely nothing. Okay, well that might be to our advantage. You never know. Morning, Adam. Nice. Right, let's do a little weather check. Airports, Gatwick, weather. Zero 0988. Alright, we should probably get clearance then if ground's online. That changes our plans quite significantly, doesn't it? Because we need to get clearance and all sorts. So what is information Delta? All right, let's message Gatwick ground. Let's get our clearance, and hopefully I don't choke and mess it up. This will be the first one in a while, so very real possibility. Is that someone messing around with their mic? Yeah. Yeah, someone is totally messing with their mic. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get clearance. Gatwick ground, good morning. Air Knot 258 at stand 558. Information Delta on board. Aircraft type Boeing 737-800. Requesting IFR clearance to Munich, please. Oddvic 2 Zulu departure 08 right departure squawk 6026 Air Knot 258. Hey, we did it. We did it. Thank you, Simon. Right, let's get that squawk dialed in. 60. Ah, this always confuses me. I always think that the bottom dial here should do the third digit along, but it doesn't. But we want 26. 6026. Boarding complete. Finally. Finally. Alright, let's get passengers to fasten their seatbelts. Ah. If I can hit my touch targets. There we go. And let's get anti-collision on. because we are going to think about pushing and starting pretty quickly. In fact, I'm going to get GSX lined up ready to go because they do take a minute. Oh yes, we need to release ground power. Hopefully this doesn't ruin everything. Oh, yeah, it's doing it, look. So GSX is interfacing with the PMDG.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Taxi to Holland Point Juliet 1, 08 right, Lima Sierra and Juliet, so Griffin 72 active.
The commentator, how are we getting on with VATSIM these days? More comfortable now? Kinda.
Check completed. Bypass pin and
It's kind of the point of today's flight, really, is that we're going to go to Munich, which is going to take us out of our comfort zone a little bit, going to a bigger airport in Germany. So, you know, we're not just like heading up to Edinburgh or, you know, that kind of thing. Trying to branch out a little bit. I feel like we've been going to simpler airports, or rather I have been going to simpler airports almost by design. So we'll get there slowly. I mean, there's no two ways about it. VATSIM still massively stresses me out sometimes. Even doesn't matter how many flights I've done. Sometimes I'm just like, oh man, VATSIM, like, why'd you do this to me? Why do I do it to myself? But I did a flight the other day in the A300 from Gatwick to Edinburgh. You may have seen the video, just because I wanted to fly the A300 for the first time, and I didn't really feel great about doing it on VATSIM because I just wasn't familiar with the aircraft. And it turns out I think that was the right call, given a few of the mistakes we made with altitudes and whatnot. But it did dawn on me as I was taxiing around Gatwick just completely on my own. It's kind of like, this is a little bit pointless. It felt like there was very low stakes, whereas VATSIM, the stakes are raised and there's something riding on it. It makes you pay attention, it makes you care. So yeah, tricky one. Okay, let's request push and start from ground. Gatwick ground air not 258 at stand 558, requesting push and start. Push and start approved, face south air not 258, thanks. Gotta stop saying thanks. Always say thanks. Okay, so we've got nose right, tail left.
Release parking brakes, please. Commencing push. All engines are clear. Start at will.
Should be able to hear the VATSIM. So can you all not hear the VATSIM? Should be able to. I can turn it up a bit. Try that. I can see it coming through on my meters. And I can hear it. Oh, it's just quiet. Okay, I'll turn it up. Okay, let's get engine 1 into ground. Monitoring the N2.
Please set parking brakes. Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Fuel for engine 1. Alright, so I imagine we are here on Quebec Alpha. I'm trying to think where we might be sent. Probably.
Good morning, EZ73 Mike is an AP20 stand 105 information Delta on board connection 988 request IFR to Manchester.
EZ73 Mike at ground, good morning, you're to Manchester, Sandbourne will do the departure when it's 08 right, squawk 5232.
Manchester, Lamborn 10 departure 08 right, squawk 5232, EZ73 Mike.
EZ73 Mike, we're back correct, connection 988, text back out.
988, something Mike.
Cool. So as I was saying, I imagine we're going to go Quebec Alpha, Lima, Sierra, Juliet. So down here around possibly Romeo, possibly Quebec, depends what they're doing. Juliet, probably hold at Juliet 1. So sort of kind of come around the back of 08 left and then join, and away we go. Alright. That's looking good. So, now the engines are started, we can take power from the engines for our electrical systems. We can put the packs into auto, isolation valve, auto, probe heats on. And let's tell GSX we've got a good engine start, otherwise they're going to just like beep and beep and beep at us.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking the nose gear.
Should be able to turn off the AP bleed. That to me is looking pretty good. Put our brakes into RTO for rejected takeoff. Can arm LNAV. Oh, sorry, we should do flight directors first, shouldn't we? Flight directors on. Arm the LNAV. Arm the VNAV. Auto throttle armed. Just need to make sure we don't accidentally click up here, because that'll trigger the auto throttle and we'll end up taking off down the taxiway. I've done that before.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin.
Don't recommend it.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Jolly good. Hey Toast, how you doing? Okay, let's bring up our charts and we will request taxi and see where they send us.
Unfortunately, from 122.8,
122.8 for Griffin, 72 Echo, thank you, so long.
Air not 258, ready for taxi. Good to hear us.
and out 258 taxi via Lima, Sierra and Juliet, hold the point Juliet 1 08 right.
Lima, Sierra, Juliet, holding point Juliet 1 for 08, right, air not 258. Nice. So, as we thought, Lima, Sierra, so we're going to come down here, make a right onto Lima, left onto Sierra, right onto Juliet, wriggle ourselves all the way down, holding point Juliet 1, at which point I imagine we'll be told Unicom. But that's fine. And we've got Unicom in the standby frequency, so we can just switch to that nice and easy. Okie dokie. Let's get the old yoke cam on. There we go. Happy days. Hi. Let's just check our yoke is actually working. Yes, it is. Jolly good. Parking brakes off.
Eurowings 27 Golf, ready for taxi. Eurowings 27 Golf, taxi Kilo Romeo and Juliet, hold short Sierra. Taxi Kilo Romeo Juliet, hold short Sierra.
There goes one.
Eurowings 27 Golf.
Okay, so it's going to be right onto Lima, isn't it? It's looking clear down there. Looking good down there. Right, so we've got Romeo and
Ground Umbrella 81, again to 131, we are ready for startup and spring. Number 81, give us the Eurowings A620, pass on left and right on Kilo, stand 131, push us flat route, face up west. After passing Eurowing, we'll face west, umbrella.
okay, left onto Sierra. Hopefully. Yeah. Left onto Sierra, right onto Juliet. I do love the Tobii eye tracker for this phase of the flight. It's really handy. Okay, Juliet looks clear. Yeah, it's so good for those turns and just like looking out for traffic. Absolutely love it for that. Oh hey Brian, sorry I didn't see you in the scroll there. Hopefully you can all hear ATC a bit better now. Let me know if you can't. So we go all the way down to the end. Obviously we've got 08 left next to us.
Euro 27 Golf, city taxi via Juliet, Juliet 108 right.
Clear the taxi to holding point for runway 08 right, Juliet 1, Euro 27 Golf.
They've actually got quite a straightforward departure really. There's not too much in terms of turns or whatever. So this is Juliet 6. We're going to keep going because we were told Juliet 1.
LR258, nothing further to unfortunately, uniform now 122.8, enjoy flight.
122.8, thank you very much for the ATC. Right, let's just wriggle around these bends and we'll sort out our radio. I think it's going to be a miracle if we get off the ground without getting some sort of warning. I feel like I haven't done this in such a while. There's Juliet 1 just there, look. We'll hold at Juliet 1, just make sure we're all good. Oh, I never put my taxi lights on. What a muppet. Okay, strobe and steady is on. I think that's lights in a pretty good space now. Engines into continuous. TCAS into Tara. What else am I forgetting, guys? Come on, help me out here. I haven't flown in like 2 weeks. I think we're good. I think we're alright.
Avance 1 Papa Hotel, London City traffic, establish ILS runway 09, full end.
Okay, everything's looking pretty good here for Gatwick. Can't see any traffic on its way in. So let's get out there and let's go, shall we? Gatwick traffic, air not 258, lining up for takeoff, runway 08 right, Gatwick traffic. Flipping brakes are still on. I feel like the brakes just sometimes just don't do what I tell them to do with this plane, I really do. Right, let's go get lined up. Why is it saying TA only down there? I'll put it into Tara. See about that. Yeah, it's in TARA.
Gatwick traffic, Eurowing 27 Golf, holding at holding point Juliet 1 for runway 08 right, Gatwick traffic.
Alright. Let's get gone. Let's click this. And we'll do an auto thrust takeoff. Yeah, you can release the back pressure on the yoke.
Eurowing 27 Golf, lining up runway 08, Gatwick traffic.
Deloading. Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. Get rejected takeoff off. A little bit windy, nothing too crazy though. Just follow those flight directors.
Gatwick traffic, Eurowing 27 Golf, taking off runway 08 right, Gatwick traffic.
Not sure what the flight directors are doing. They're making us go up, they're making us go down.
Get something number 1 approaching the runway, line up runway up the parking tray or wing available. Traffic via 01, line up runway 08.
Jolly good. Don't get RA below 10,000 feet, that'll explain it. Thank you. Am I using the Thrustmaster T-Flight pedals? No, I'm not. I'm using the Logitech ones. At the time, they seemed like... I mean, I bought them like, what, 2 years ago now? At the time, they seemed like the best kind of value for the money. The best pedal for the best money. It's kind of where I landed. No pun intended. Alright, so for about the next 14 miles, we're going to be held at 6,000. We'll just follow the SID. And then we'll get up to 390. Get 390 up here. Sync our heading. VNav remains armed, that's good. What do you all think about music on the stream? I've intentionally not used any today, and I'm just conscious that I don't like it. Something about it. Don't know what it is. We've been having a few issues with false copyright claims. So the music that I use is royalty free. I've got a sync license to use it. It's all good. Like, I'm allowed to use it. It's fine. But you do get certain characters on YouTube that like to go around claiming this music as their own, which then means that they then claim any ad revenue off of that video until you fight back and be like, oi, no, it is mine, I am allowed to use it. You have to like provide evidence. Generally it just times out after 30 days and returns to you, but it's super annoying. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just like, I don't know what to do. I'm curious what you all think. Cheers, Adam. Yeah, I felt like I oversped a little bit at one point. I feel like the flight directors led us in the wrong direction. Just slightly. It was sort of like nose down, then it's like going too fast, and it's like nose up, nose up.
Traffic, you're doing 27 Golf is at 6,000 feet on the 132 Zulu departure, inbound Kilo Kilo Echo 10. Gatwick traffic.
Gatwick traffic Air 0258, just passing Oddvik at flight level 060. Nice. So once we get past Oddvik, the plane should start taking us up. How you getting on, Badger? You all good? There we go. That's us climbing now. Altimeter in standard. Lovely. Yeah, let me know what you think about the music on the stream. I know some people love it, I know some people hate it. Yeah, I thought that too, Redstone. It was a bit odd, wasn't it? Maybe I kind of just needed to have the confidence to ignore it a little bit. Maybe that was the key. Okay, engines out of continuous. I would put the gear into the neutral position, but due to key bindings on my hardware, it doesn't let me. Before any of you ask. Alright, let's have a look. Let's have a look. See what's going on in Munich. Still nothing. Let's just refresh it. That's alright. What would you all think about a virtual airline? Unable to do 250 knots at road. Cool. That's fine. We'll fix that. Slept in, Badger. Unbelievable. trying to work out where we are. Is that Southend Airport? I think that's Southend Airport, and I think that's Southend. I think. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that's Southend, and I'm fairly certain that is... Where's the airport for Southend? It's back a little bit, isn't it? Can't see the airport. So Badger, I've actually got an account with New Sky set up. However, I can't create a VA until I actually do a flight with it. And I meant to set it going for today's flight, but like a complete fool, I forgot. So I'm going to have to do one more flight. And then hopefully it'll allow me to create a VA. I think. It's quite an impressive cloud formation over there, isn't it? How many FPS do I get after upgrading to a 4080 Super? So I've got a video on the channel all about it, where I've sort of done landings at various different airports and in various different airplanes, such as the PMDG, such as the Phoenix, to try and give you a general idea, really, of what you could expect. Although you're saying upgrading from a 3080 to a 4080 Super for a 2K monitor, probably not, to be honest with you. Not for a 2K monitor. I'd say you're fine on a 3080. I'd save you money. Because if you, I don't know if you have already, but in the sim, if you go into the options and enable developer mode, you'll then get this toolbar up the top. This is the developer toolbar. If you go to debug and display FPS, now I've got mine locked at 30 for today because the last time I tried to stream with an uncapped frame rate, so obviously the sim was taking up loads of the GPU horsepower, and my graphics card couldn't encode the stream because it was doing a 4K encode to YouTube and a 1080p encode to Twitch. So I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back. So until I get a dedicated streaming PC built, I'm keeping it at 30. That's the plan, really. Capable of a lot more, but just for the sake of a stable stream, keeping it at 30 for now. But my point was, actually, I don't know why I closed that. If you go into the display FPS, this little bit here, it will tell you what component you're limited by. And I would hazard a guess that you're going to be limited by your main thread most of the time. In which case, a new CPU would get you far more value than spending £1,000 on a 4080 Super. Cheers, Adam. Take it easy. Yeah, I think I agree, Brian. There's a little part of me that thinks that maybe on the ground we could maybe just do with something. Just on the ground, just like even before engine start, I would kind of argue that engine start music goes off. And not even music, just like a little drum loop or something, just to like... just something to break up the I don't want to say awkwardness, but I do feel sometimes on the ground the stream can feel a little bit flat. while I'm just like setting up the plane and stuff. But if we just had a little bit of something just to liven up the mood a little bit, that might not be the worst thing. I don't know. I'm tempted just to go into GarageBand on my Mac and just like make a little drum loop and, you know, like a little bass line under it and just loop it. Make a few of those and call it done. Was London Control online? I mean, I'm basically in France now, so I don't think I'm going to be of any interest to them. God, that is a huge area they're covering, though. Look at that. See if I can bring it up for you. Oh no, it's a different. So that's weird. So on Volanta, it shows basically this area here, this white highlighted area, is covering basically the entire of the UK. Which is what made me think, like, wow, I feel sorry for that guy, but yeah, we're well out of the way now. Still nothing in Munich. We got a couple on the ground. Got a DHL on the way. So someone's just used 08 right. Looks like DHL is lined up for 08 left. Same as we're going to be using. We'll see, we might get something by the time we get there, you never know. Volanta doesn't know the splits of the airspace. Oh, okay. Fine. That would make sense then, wouldn't it? That would make a lot of sense. Fair enough, Brian. Yeah, you might have a point. You might have a point. It might be a confidence thing from my point of view. I always feel really conscious of having like a dead sounding stream. Like if I'm thinking and looking at something and it all goes a bit quiet, I always feel a little bit like, oh no, it's gone quiet. Maybe that's just a confidence thing from my end. Yeah, so Badger, Simon, the plan is to give New Sky a try. That's the plan. Maybe does make all the work I've just done on the website a little bit pointless if we do go that route, but ultimately, if it's the best thing to do, it's the best thing to do. And it wasn't too much work on the website, to be honest. Also, just a note, the liveries on the website, we've updated them. Such that they now each have a VMR file, so you can install the VMR file into vPilot, and the idea is that if say I'm flying on VATSIM and you're flying on VATSIM and we're both flying as Air Not, maybe say in the Phoenix or the PMDG or whatever, we will then, if we've both got the livery installed, will see each other as they're not, rather than just like a blank yellow stock A320 or whatever it defaults to. So we've got the ATR 72-600, we've got the A300 freighter. We've got a cargo livery for that now. We should do some cargo ops actually, I should have done that today. But I wanted to fly Boeing. We've got the fly-by-wire, we've got the Phoenix, and we've got this. I would like to get an A330 headwind done, but every time I look at their paint kit, it just confuses me so much. So I need to maybe revisit that. Right, I'm going to risk it for a biscuit. I'm going to go and quickly make a quick coffee. Hopefully nothing comes online. If it does, I will only be a couple of moments away. Enjoy the views. I'll see you in a minute. I'm going to go grab some coffee. Alright guys, I'm back. And I have coffee. Everything is right with the world. There's top of cruise. Ideal. So I can't imagine we're going to be at top of cruise for all that long. Let's have a little look. Progress. 200 miles till top of descent, near enough, that's fine. Hey, Kraza! Sorry, I just spotted you there in chat, how you doing? Bagua says, I've mostly been flying VA, but recently got into airliners. I planned a flight on Simbrief last night, started cold and dark, took off, landed, however, I want to learn deeper, any good resources? So, I don't know if you've got a Navigraph subscription or not, Bagua. If you don't, ChartFox is a pretty good place to start. Gives you a load of charts. I mean, they're not bang up to date, but if you're just flying on your own at this point and you're not on VATSIM, I don't really think it matters too much. And then you'll be able to get the charts, like this kind of stuff. So this was our chart out of London, runway 08 right, all the different waypoints that we had to follow. That was our SID, standard instrument departure. So the official route out of Gatwick, as opposed to just flying wherever you want. It gives you all your altitude restrictions, your speed restrictions. And at Oddvik, then you go onto your main airways. See how it turns purple after Oddvik. So the pink bit is the SID. There's us, flying between the waypoints. Then as we get into Munich, well, we'll see what happens at Munich. If there's nothing online, I think my plan is just to vector myself in. Because I'm struggling to see what I should be doing, to be honest with you. I find it all quite confusing, actually. Not sure what we should be doing for Munich. Yeah, I mean, Navigraph's great. Really handy because it also makes sure that you have all the up-to-date stuff in here as well. So if you see, for example, our arrival into Munich is the... See there, we transition at Rokill. And then our arrival is the Rokill 1 Alpha arrival. That then makes sure that you have the proper Rokill 1 Alpha in here as well. So Navigraph not only gives you the charts to look at, it makes sure that Simbrief is using the most up-to-date data to generate your flight plans, and it also injects it into your navigation systems in the plane. So if you're on VATSIM, I think you kind of need it, really. But if you were like me for a long time on this channel, I started this channel, and for a long time we just flew the fly-by-wire. Basically, I didn't have any money, really, to put into the channel. The channel wasn't making any money. All I was doing really was burning electricity. So actually it was just all costing me money. It wasn't until we got the channel monetized that then, you know, I could start to look at buying the PMDG, I could start to look at buying the Phoenix, I could start to look at buying a yoke, buying a Navigraph subscription, but yeah, there are ways around it. The fly-by-wire and ChartFox, that's a pretty powerful free combination. If you're just flying around on your own and learning and trying to get to grips with it all. Yeah, I spent a long time back when not on VATSIM. Only kind of September, October time last year did I get into it. So I still consider myself the new kid, which is kind of at odds with the fact that I've got a YouTube channel, because I think some people think, well, he's got a YouTube channel, he must be really good, he must know what he's doing. Where actually it's more a case that I'm just stupid enough to put it on YouTube. I think is the more realistic answer to that. Hey Francesco, can you tell me what scene you're using for EGKK? Yeah, so it's the FlightSim.to version of Gatwick. It's I forget what it's called. Is it called My Gatwick or Our Gatwick? Or if you search for it, it's like the top result because it's really popular. It's a bit of a heavy hitter on the old hardware. It does like to grind your PC to a halt sometimes, but it is very good. The other one is it Origami Studios that make a payware version? I might do a video actually comparing the two. Got the 737-600 to start with. That's a really smart idea. If you want to get into Boeings, that is a really good idea. Because essentially you get all the systems, you get all the buttons, you get all the things you need to learn at a much cheaper price point. It's a smart idea. Now for me, as I sort of became more aware of the PMDGs, the 737-700 had been out for some time, and all the rumours were like the 800's coming, the 800's coming, and really it was the 800 I wanted. And I was like, damn, I'm not going to buy the 700 to only then have to buy the 800 again, because these things aren't cheap. So I held off I think it was like 3 weeks, and then the 800 came out and I bought that. Because ultimately I wanted to fly the thing that I go on holiday on. So oh, crazy, you got the Phoenix, nice. Yeah, the Airbus officer pack isn't a bad place to be really, because I feel, well, I've made a video about it and I've spoke about it a lot, but I'll say it again. I feel like the throttles, the Airbus throttles, are much better at being Boeing throttles than the Boeing throttles are at being an Airbus throttle, if that makes any kind of sense. It's a good setup really to go between Airbus and Boeing. Even though it all looks Airbus-y and it's got Airbus written on it and it's blue like an Airbus, actually fly a Boeing with it, it's pretty damn good. I'm really, really pleased with my setup at the moment. I feel like it's, especially since I've got the add-on units for the flaps and the speed brakes, although thinking about it, this is the first time I've flown the Boeing since having those, so I don't quite know how that's going to go. I feel like maybe I need to get SPAD and get a profile set up such that it'll all work nicely with the Boeing, because at the moment I don't think it does really. I'm thinking about, if I turn the camera on a minute I'll show you. I'm thinking about either getting a 3D printer or going to a friend that has one and begging him to print me something. You can buy a little insert that goes in here. Obviously this is the flap lever, and this has got detents in it, so for the Airbus it kind of goes click, click, click into like the right places, which is fine, but for Boeing, I mean, just look at this dial here. We've got flaps 1, 2, 5, 10, 15, 25, 30, 40. And on the Airbus we've got flaps 1, 2, 3 max, or full I should say. So there is a little 3D printer thing you can get, or there's a file you can download with a design, and it has loads of little notches that kind of go up and down this area, and you slot this in. You get rid of this lever, 3D print yourself a new lever, buy a little spring, and you have to sort of pull it up, pull it, and then it drops back down into the appropriate notch, and all the notches are designed for the 737. However, they also line up with the detents that are already in place with the Airbus, so it can do both. There was one for the speed brake as well. I think it was like a new set of detents that give you like a little click just a tiny bit down from where it is now, just to put it into like an armed position, because obviously you can't lift it up. So if you just pull it just a touch, it will go click, and then you know it's armed. I'm really tempted to get a 3D printer. Really tempted. No idea what I'll print once I've printed those two things, but I really want one. Maybe I could like make my own FMC kind of up here, 3D print the whole thing. $737, 8 and 700 are worse price. Yeah, they do cost more. That's not a lie. Oh yeah, Brian, I was going to ask you about that monitor. How is it? How is it? How is it? I need to know. Tell me everything. $740 watts an hour. Yeah, but you can't put a price on happiness, Brian, can you? So just going to wind out. There we go. Unbelievable. That's cool. Oh, I'm so pleased for you. I've been looking at a new TV. I kind of feel like my TV is causing more problems at the moment than it's solving. Wraparound would be nice, wouldn't it? I don't know how that would work on the stream though. This is the thing, I have to consider everything, A, as what I want as an individual, but then B, how that would actually translate onto the stream. Because if I had, obviously I've got one 4K telly in front of me at the moment. If I had two more, A, that's going to make my GPU melt, probably. But put that to one side, let's assume I can do that. I'm going to be looking left and looking right when I'm on the ground at airports, just with my head. But you as the viewer, you'll be looking straight ahead. So I don't know if that's going to maybe be not great. It's almost like if I could have a way that the Tobii eye tracker could track my eyes and move what my OBS software captures. So if I look to the right-hand TV, it pans across to that TV. I don't know. Good morning, Matt. Yes, it is, mate. 737-800. There she is. But yeah, 3 4K tellies, that's the dream, isn't it? I suppose I could have a button on my Stream Deck to like change it. So if I'm going to look left, I press the left button on the Stream Deck while I look left so you can see too. No way, Robert, you're going to go 8K. That's cool. The C2 is a great set though, isn't it? That's a great TV. No worries, Matt. Yeah, recommend it. If you fancy the livery, head over to airnot.co.uk, the website. You can download it from there. If you want to fly along with us, you'd be more than welcome. $8K, that's a lot though, isn't it? That is an awful lot. I mean, in terms of pixels, that is a lot of pixels to drive. Oh, you're getting an eye tracker, Brian. Cool. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if, like, having 2 more monitors, having a wraparound, negates the need for an eye tracker or not. Because I personally feel like I use my eye tracker most when I'm on the ground to look around. You know, look left, look right, check for traffic. Navigating turns and things like that. Yeah, Robert, I've been keeping an eye on the 5090. I'm always really reluctant to believe when I read things like that though. And I'll tell you why, because normally when Nvidia bring out a new generation of cards, there's always a gimmick that comes with it. So with the 20 series it was ray tracing. With the 30 series it was DLSS 2.0, with the 40 series it was DLSS frame generation. I get the feeling like with 50 series it's going to be path tracing. And when I start hearing numbers like 60% stronger, I always think in the back of my mind, 60% in conditions that make it 60%, such that if you imagine like a path traced game on a 40 series card is going to be a load of rubbish because the card wasn't designed for path tracing, then run it on a 50 series and then you get your 60%. Will you get 60% in pure rasterization across the board? Don't know. Be cool if you do. But it's like when Nvidia come out and they're like, oh, you know, the 4070 is 2.5 times faster than the 3070. It's like, yeah, that's because you've enabled frame generation. If you just do rasterization to rasterization, apples to apples, what is it then? Is it like, what, 30%? You know? Where was it again? So it's on our website, Matt. airnot.co.uk. You see it's there on top of the little camera in the bottom left. Like that saying go to the page to see all what gear we use for the stream and stuff. But there's another page on the site for the liveries, you can download them. Also has a VMR file, so if you do find yourself on VATSIM, if you install the VMR file into vPilot, we should be able to see each other in the Airnot livery. Does Microsoft Flight Sim use ray tracing? No, it uses ray marching, which is a little bit different to ray tracing. So it's my understanding that ray tracing is a very precise way of sort of bouncing rays of light around. Ray marching is more of an approximation. So it sort of does it to the nearest X. And then I think if it realises that that was actually a bit wrong, it kind of marches it back and tries a different value. Hence the term ray marching. I believe. I'm not 100%. We're doing Sydney after Munich. Yeah, let's go to Sydney, shall we? Just a quick hop. I do feel like I owe you guys a long haul, to be honest with you. After hitting 10k, I feel like a long haul probably is on the cards. Alright, I'm going to put 5,000 in the window just so that when the time comes, which will be any moment now, just getting back into the sim after several years away, so a bit rusty. Oh, aren't we all, Matt? Don't worry about it. I feel like that this morning. I was saying while we were on the ground in Gatwick, if we managed to get off the runway without an error or a warning or something, it would be pretty good going. I haven't actually flown in what must be like a fortnight now, maybe more. I love doing the live streams, I really do. But they require me to have reasonable blocks of time to do them. In the last 2 or 3 weeks I've just had like fragments of time, which is fine for making videos that I put out on the channel, because you can kind of do a little bit for an hour and stop, do another little bit and stop. But yeah, to do this, like, I need a morning or I need an afternoon, which life had other ideas. I think I'll probably end up with a 55-inch TV though. I think I'm looking at a Hisense U7K. That's the plan. Hey, hello Tricky. How you diddling? Put the map back on. Looks super cool and professional. Oh, don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. Appearances can be deceptive. Yeah, Matt, I'm inclined to agree with you. When we hit 5k subs back in, I don't know when it was it in the summertime? I think it was in the summer. I did Dubai back to, I forget where it was, Heathrow. Let's stop a descent. Man, that dragged. That really, really dragged.
Office traffic, also to Papa, lining up runway 07 center.
That's all right, Tricky. No worries, mate. But yeah, short hauls I think are just so much more entertaining. Like the idea of doing 10 hours. I could understand it, like if I was going to set autopilot and then go to bed and wake up and then land it. Or if I was going to set autopilot and then spin around 90 degrees and play Call of Duty for like 8 hours. Like I could understand that, but just to sit on Unicom for like 9 hours or whatever in cruise, no way. Air conditioning. Off schedule descend. No, we're not. Runway elevation. Wow, that's actually quite high, isn't it? I suppose we are near the mountains. 1467. Why does it think we're doing an off-scheduled descent? Let's load in the winds because I've got the wind data. It's weird, isn't it? Because I do think it's almost seen as a promotion to go from short haul to long haul, but I kind of feel like I wouldn't want that. If I was a pilot, I'd be like, no. I think to me, being able to fly all around Europe into incredible destinations, like never really too far from home, never too far from your next destination, always something to do, keeping busy. I think the idea of giving that up to sit over the Atlantic for like 6 hours at a time, I really don't think I'd want that. So Matt, I bought the 800 only because I wanted the plane that I actually fly on when I go on holiday, which is invariably an 800 because of Ryanair and all of that. It's funny, the boss of PMDG, he went on like a YouTube channel, did like a podcast style video, and he said like actually the market, if you look at what works best for us, the market is very much, cheers Tricky, the market is people wanting to fly what they see at the airports, what they go on their holidays on, which is something they need to keep in mind obviously, because if they go making planes that nobody wants, that's a huge waste, so they need to kind of look at what's popular in that sense. Flippin' heck, Badger, did you actually sit there and do the whole thing, or did you like walk away for a while? Alright, let's see if we can find us. There we are. There's me. Here is Munich. Yeah, that's a good point, Kraser. That is a good point. You also get the you also get a freighter variant, don't you, with the 800 and the BBJ, the Boeing business jet. So it gives you a couple of options there. I've not actually explored the freighter on the 737. I feel like we should. Can maybe do a freighter livery for it to go alongside the A300 that we've got now. Loving that A300. Really am. That's a great plane. Like super retro, super old school, but I love it. Flies really nice to hand fly it. Feels great. The map I just used. Oh, this. Hang on, let me show you. This is, if you go to map.vatsim.net, it will redirect you to simaware.ca. So this shows you everything that's going on with VATSIM. So, typical. There's tower and ground online now at Gatwick. If we just waited an hour, we could have got some more ATC. And there's also London Control South, which would have got us all the way to France. Never mind. You can see there, look, is that Stuttgart? Yeah, Stuttgart's got a full house, look at that. Delivery, ground, tower and ATIS. Munich? Nothing. Not even an ATIS. Never mind. Yeah, it just allows you to see what's going on, really. Yeah, I'm with you there, Simon. It's funny, if you'd have asked me that 12 months ago, I'd have been like, oh no. No, I'm into the newer stuff. Don't like the old stuff, but... yeah, they've got a certain charm about them, haven't they? Little quirks. MD-11 will be the next one for me, I think. In terms of the older stuff. And it's nice that those older planes are kind of getting preserved in the sim. Because there will come a day when they're not in the sky at all. Yeah, we should have some pretty good cargo options pretty soon, really, shouldn't we? Because we've got the A300 with a freighter. MD-11 is, yeah, that's just crying out to be used for freighter ops, isn't it? And then we're going to have the 777F. Further sound of engines listening to the streamer. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I don't think you're alone in that opinion either. Was there a sale on any builds? Nice. Yeah, we should get the 7.4-400, shouldn't we? Once the 7.7 is all kind of done and dusted. I was surprised that they went with the 300 ER first, though. I was surprised. What's EDDP, Badger? What's that? I'm not familiar with that code. Obviously Germany. Trying to think where. Transition level set by ATC. Alright. It would be cool to go into a full motion sim on like a 737. I did one at Gloucester Airport, but that is not a full motion sim. Like they've just got like a room where they've built it with like wraparound projection, that kind of stuff. It's good, it's impressive what they've made, but only flight sim enthusiasts speak okay fluently. Fair enough. I feel like I've got this like little database in my head really. That is gradually growing. Yeah, you're not wrong, Andy. Not wrong. I guess I was kind of hoping that they would... I know it says standard, by the way, down here. It's because the plane thinks it's America, I think. Defaults to 18,000, doesn't it? We'll go for 6. Now then, what do we do here then? What do we reckon? So I've got it set up to take us on a little route. I'm not entirely sure what the done thing is here. Like, could we go direct to Maggot? Could we do that? After roadkill, of course. I think what I was hoping for, Andy, was like a freighter to come with the 300 ER, but I think I'm going to have to end up buying the plane twice, essentially. I'm going to need, obviously I'll need to buy it when it comes out because I'd be a fool not to for the channel. Yeah, that's it, Dazza. Yeah. It's a good day out, isn't it? Although it was a little bit weird, I thought, at places. Like, I wasn't allowed to touch the throttles, I wasn't allowed to touch the rudder pedals. I wasn't allowed ILS because that was cheating. So basically I had to steer with the yoke while the guy did the throttles for me, and I was like, that's so annoying because I can't feel what you're doing with the throttles. Like, I don't have all the information. Go direct DM12. I mean DM412. that'll take us all the way out here, yeah? Is that what you're suggesting? So I guess we can lose altitude going around here. Okay, let's try that then. Give it a whirl, shall we? We are on Unicom after all. We're in charge. You told the guy you do flight sim, he said, okay, I'll leave you to it. Oh, okay. I mean, I did that too. I've got a very different experience. Oh, it's fine. Yeah, it was a good day. I think one of the throttle levers was a bit broken as well when I was there, because it sort of like rattled around in the thing. I think that's maybe why I was told not to touch it. Alrighty, 10,000 feet. Let's do engines continuous. Let's do lights. Okay, 08 left. Oh. VREF 147. Landing flaps 30, auto brake 3. Hey Bance, hey Luisi. Nice to see you both. Right. 109.5 for the ILS. Now listen, I haven't flown in about 2 or 3 weeks, so don't be getting your hopes up for this landing, okay? Looking good. And what was the course? DM412 and 421 shouldn't be linked. You would get a clearance from ATC to leave downwind. On the other hand, you can do whatever you want. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. We're on Unicom, so buys us a bit of extra time to config the plane properly, doesn't it? Runway heading 080. Yeah, tray tables up, everybody. Weather. So what's the wind doing? 0708 knots. So that's actually in our favour, isn't it? That is actually quite in our favour because the runway's at 080. So it's only very slight deviation. We should be alright. QNH is 0995. Get that in.
Munich traffic, Eurowings 27 Golf, inbound Mike, India Kilo, 5,000 feet, Munich traffic.
Oh, have I got myself a speeding ticket, guys? I'm sorry. See the airport then. Where's the airport? Man, I feel like this is taking a while. When you hear people say that... Right, 6,000 feet, let's transition. Alright, I'm going to do a speed intervention because I feel like the plane is getting confused. Because look, it thinks we should be at 17,000 feet here. Yeah, transition QNH at 6,000, guys. It's all good. Yeah, so look, 707's turned off. Rightly so, in my opinion. Whereas I'm going all around the houses, but at least we might get to see him land. Yeah, I feel like we've just basically bought ourselves a load of time at 5,000 feet for no reason, actually. Probably should have taken more of a direct route. So had ATC been online, would we have been vectored or would we have been given waypoints to go direct to, do you think? I'm not really familiar with Munich. There's the airfield.
Munich traffic, Eurowings 2 Golf, and Delta 120 Lima. Flight management, Munich traffic.
Would have been vectored, okay. So, what, in an ideal world, what should I have done coming in here? Because obviously we have gone... I look at the chart and I find this chart confusing, for one thing. Because here's roadkill, or where's roadkill? Roadkill somewhere out here, isn't it? It takes you all the way out to Mike, and then all the way back. I don't know, I just find it a bit weird. Yeah, roadkill, Mike, and then back is what it wanted us to do. See here. Like, is that normal? I don't really get what the purpose of it all is. Aha. Who do we have here? It's normally so they have time to regulate the airplanes coming into land. So they would send you up there?
Munich traffic, Eurowings 27 Golf, reducing to 160 knots for separation. Munich traffic.
Okay, so I've got one behind me. That one's going somewhere else. That is 707. That one is Lufthansa going 08 right. We're going 08 left, so we'll be out of the way. Alright, nice. Okay, fine.
Traffic. Climb.
Who is that? Where are they going?
Clear of conflict.
Look at star chart, Lando and Rocal 08. Yeah, okay, we will do. Once we get on the ground, we'll have a look at that, because I'd like to kind of figure out what is actually going on.
Munich traffic, Eurowings 27 Golf overhead, Maga inbound ILS runway 08 for Munich, 1-2 miles to run. Munich traffic.
Alright, so once we get past Maggot, we will turn in. Yeah, we'll turn ourselves in. Okay, let's select our VREF. And let's get our minimums. God, this takes so long. Get our speed down. 200 knots. Was it 1667, wasn't it, on the chart? Munich traffic air knot 258, heading into Maggot 5,000 feet for ILS 08 left, Munich traffic.
Traffic, Eurowings 27 Golf established on the ILS runway 08 left, finals with 5.5 miles to go, and speed reducing to 140, Munich traffic.
Ah, you read my mind, Thomas.
Traffic.
Do I have someone heading right towards me? I think I kind of do. Oh, they're over there.
Descend.
It's a bit close, wasn't it?
Clear of conflict.
There we go. Munich traffic air knot 258 established on ILS 08 left, reducing speed 180 knots. Let's get that speed down. Why are we doing such an aggressive descent? Yeah, let's get gear down. Speed going down to 160. What is this plane doing? It's all over the place. Look at that, look.
Munich traffic, Eurowings 27 Golf vacated runway 08 left, Munich traffic.
Right, here we go. So we have got spoilers armed, flaps 30, gear down, engines in continuous. Munich traffic air 258 on a 3-mile final, runway 08 left. Alright, let's see if we can do this. It's been a while. Definitely has been a while. A little bit on the low side.
300.
3 reds on the pappies, but the picture looks pretty good.
200. Minimums.
Continue.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
And we're down. Not my finest. Not my finest. I felt like I overflared a little bit and then quickly reduced the flare to try and compensate. But after 3 weeks away nearly, I will take that. Okay, let's jump off here. What is going on? Why has the plane stopped? Munich traffic air 258 vacating runway 08 left. Did I burst a tyre then? Okay, let's consult a chart, shall we? See where we need to go. Alright, let's go to... Let's go to stand 203. Munich traffic air 258, taxiing to stand 203, terminal 2 via Alpha Bravo, oh, sorry, Alpha 8, November 3.
Munich traffic, lining up runway 08. München traffic, Lufthansa 1 Charlie Papa on 4 miles flying low runway 08 left. We'll get out before you are there. Control.
Munich traffic, Lufthansa 7 November, line up and take off runway 08 right.
Yeah, okay, that landing wasn't so bad, maybe. Maybe it wasn't so bad. So we want November What is going on here? Look at that scenery. We want November 3, don't we? So we want the next one. See if we can get in between this road. Yeah, I think the scenery maybe needs a little bit of work there, to be honest. I mean, this is default after all, so... Yeah, that is janky, isn't it?
Traffic 08, that's indicated. Danko.
Yeah, so I think basically there should be a tunnel there, right? But that's just not modelled. Cheers, Matt. Take it easy. Alright, so we want 203. Yeah, we need to go on a little bit. Cheating just a tiny bit there. The road is a tunnel under the taxiways, yeah, so they must have mapping data that is just... not quite right. So we're going 203, aren't we? Which is going to be this one. Yeah, this one. That is what default scenery gets you, I suppose, isn't it? Especially at the bigger airports like this. It's a bit of an abrupt stop there, wasn't it? Alright, let's get the parking brakes on. Shall we... Dare I look at the landing report for that? I don't think that was great, to be honest. Oh no, 215 feet per minute. Wasn't so bad after all. Just looking at the time. Just wondering if we could head back. Let's do a replay. Let's disconnect from VATSIM. Let's look at our replay tool. Let's stop recording. And let's do a passenger view. There we go. Wait for it all to load in. We'll see what the passenger's got. See how bad it was, really. I feel like this gives you quite an honest impression. So who does some good scenery for Munich? It felt like I very, very nearly floated that one. See, there's the float. Oh, that was alright. That wasn't too bad. That was fine. Yeah, nothing to worry about there. I always feel like I'm in a constant disagreement with the Pappies, though. Oh, it's because of the replay, Robert. That's all it is. There we go, let's put the flaps out. Let's look at the other side, shall we? Here we go. Yeah, almost afloat, but I just rescued it. Yeah, that was okay. That was okay. I'll take that. For a first time back out, that's alright. Jolly good. Right, folks. I think I'm going to end this one here. Thank you very much, 707, for flying along. And most importantly, thank you all for watching. Really do appreciate it. Should be back tomorrow. Going somewhere completely different tomorrow, but I can't say where yet. So I'll leave that all as a surprise for you. Should be similar sort of time. For those of you that want to fly along, I'll try and schedule the stream as soon as possible once I get confirmation of where we're going. But yeah, nice flight that. Really enjoyed it. I feel like I perhaps didn't get as much out of Munich as I'd hoped today. It would have been really nice to fare some ATC online. That would have been... that was kind of the whole point, really, thinking about it. It's because I kind of wanted ATC coming into a big airport, following taxi instructions at a big airport I'm unfamiliar with. Just trying to stretch those VATSIM legs a little bit, but it was still fun nevertheless to do it, so very nice indeed. But yeah, we'll be back. I've really missed flying. I was saying last night to my wife, like, I just feel like I've got this itch to fly all the time. So when I don't get to do it, I sort of get a bit grumpy and a bit like, oh, I just really want to go fly. Almost like a bit of an addiction, I suppose. But yeah, the last few weeks haven't really been conducive for flying. I just haven't had those big blocks of time that I need, which is kind of annoying, but what can you do? What can you do? Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and I'll see you in the next stream. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.